So last week we heard the gospel reading where the lawyer stood up to test Jesus by asking him what's the greatest law in all of the gospel. And the response was, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And last week we reflected on how the very heart and mission of the church is summed up right there. We're called to love God. We're called to love neighbor. And the way the Anglican Church seeks to do that is by living out what we have come to know as the 5 marks of mission. And the 5 marks of mission are, first mark, proclaim the good news of the gospel. We are loving God and loving our neighbor by sharing our own faith. We're loving God and our neighbor by telling them the good news about Jesus. The second mark of mission is to teach, baptize, and nurture new believers. We shouldn't just be offering Sunday school to children, we should be offering Christian education to all of us. The third mark of mission is to respond to human need by love and service. The fourth mark of mission is that we are to be a people who seek to transform unjust structures of society. And the final mark of mission is that we are called to strive to safeguard the integrity of creation. 5 specific ways that we are called as Anglican followers of Jesus to strive to love God and love our neighbor. And in most Anglican churches, we do marks 3, 4, and 5 pretty well. If you want a list of all of the outreach activities that we do and how we respond to human need, there's an endless list. The community breakfast that we started yesterday is a perfect example. We seek to transform unjust structures of society through the work of the Climate World Relief and Development Fund, through using our voice of advocacy, and lots of effort has been made at seeking to safeguard the integrity of creation. Where Anglicans typically don't do as good a job is especially mark number 1. We are not always all that comfortable talking about our faith with one another. Talking about our faith with one another in the church, let alone talking about our faith and the difference it makes in our lives and the good news of Jesus with people out in the community that might not have a background in church. And yet, that's how we're called to love God and neighbor, is by proclaiming the good news of the gospel, by talking about the difference our God has made in our own lives. And so, at Synod, our diocesan Synod for the past few years, we have started trying to encourage us to talk about our faith with one another by inviting people to come forward and to share their own faith story, to share their own experience of God in their lives and the difference this gospel has made in their lives. And that has been the most popular part of Synod for the past couple of years. And I've mentioned a number of times now that I think it's something that we should be doing here in the life of our own church family. That we come together as a community and we have great fellowship with one another, we do great outreach with one another, we worship really well together, but that it's also important for us to be sharing with each other the difference this faith, the difference this gospel makes in our lives. And so that's been put out to the congregation a number of times, and I have had someone come forward and say, I think God is really calling me to do this. It's terrifying the heck out of me, but I think that God is calling me to do this, and that maybe by sharing my faith story, that might encourage others to find the courage themselves to stand up and share their own faith story. And so today, instead of a sermon, even though you just got one, instead of a sermon, I'm going to invite Diane Beadle to come forward, and she's going to share her faith with us this morning. You may want to use the microphone.
spiritual. I have found that he just keeps nudging me until I decide that he knows what's best. In looking back, which is very common as we grow older, I came to realize how much the Lord guided and blessed me from my youth. He gave me loving parents whose lives were centered around the church, actually the Church of the Resurrection, where I was baptized. Then, because my dad was the organist there, I was in the junior choir and then the senior choir after my confirmation. Then, with God's direction, I began to teach in Sunday school. As with all of us, God calls us to follow his way in our lives, and as I came to realize later, he also prepares us to use the talents he blesses us with. During my growing years, as well as later in my life, he sent mentors to help me grow in my faith. After Jack and I were married, the Lord opened the way for us to teach and guide the Sunday schools at the Resurrection, and later at St. Helens, and later still at St. Jude's. We feel blessed to have been able to share our faith with so many great young people. They seem to enjoy the high bar courses which we taught them. In 1985, the Reverend Faculty from St. Jude's decided that, with help from St. Albans, Redeemer, and St. Luke's churches, St. Jude's would hold a week-long mission with Bishop Hunt from Toronto, who was retired, as the speaker. It would take place the next year and be called Lightstones. Again, Jack and I felt called to take part. Jack is co-chair with Reverend Fackle and me in organizing the music. A prayer group was formed by Anna Paul Westgate of St. Albans to pray for God's guidance for the mission. Jack and I remember it as another new leading by God for us, especially when Bishop Hunt gave an altar call on the last evening and we went forward. Shortly after the mission, it was time for us to begin attending St. Jude's. Anna Paul decided to continue with the prayer group with meetings twice a month. So I joined the group at St. Albans, which has proven to be my spiritual support. Since then, except for 7 years living in Kent, our prayer group decided to list our family and friends in need and pray for them daily. We were encouraged by the Lord's healing of many people. Our group also decided to study the journey, a Bible study of the Old Testament, which helped me to see God's love and care of his chosen people. During those years, Jack and I went with Anna and Paul to the Holy Spirit conferences at St. Paul's Cathedral, which were held for 1 day in August each year. The now Bishop John Chapman was the priest of St. Jude's then, and after we attended services there for a while, he asked us to lead the Sunday school. In 1989, more changes happened, as Jack's company was bought out by another firm and most of the employees were let go. So after much discussion and prayer, we decided to answer God's call for Jack to attend Huron University, receive his BA for 3 years, then seminary for 3 more years. We made an appointment to talk to John about this, and were surprised when he informed us that he knew why we were there. This helped to confirm our call. Then began a journey of blessings. St. Jude's congregation had grown so much that there was a need for an addition. John asked Jack to oversee the building of the addition for 2 years and work between 20 to 24 hours per week. That job certainly helped with our expenses, as well as the prayers and monetary gifts that we received from family and friends. In 1995, Jack was ordained. We had a wonderful send-off by our St. Jude's friends as we went on our way to the Thames Mill Rectory, where Jack had a church as well as a lawn in Dresden. There, we were shown much love and support. We joined in many community and church events and came to know and love the people. It was a time of spiritual growth for me. Jack had a Bible study and prayer on Wednesday evenings, every other week in each church. All the churches in the Dresden area came together for an Alpha program, which proved to be God's leading. After 7 years there, we retired and moved back home, and returned to St. Jude's for 8 years, and then to St. Albans for 8 more. Jack was the honorary assistant at each church during those years. 3 years ago, the Lord's meeting brought us back here where God has blessed us with Bill and Matt's ministries. I am thankful for Bill's caring, compassion, and support for us and many others. Matt's insight into the scriptures has assisted me in learning more about my Heavenly Father. I have chosen the Anglican way because of its diversity. But it seems that over the last several years, we have begun to follow the way of the world instead of the way of the Lord. The church needs to stress the importance of reading and studying the Bible with the Holy Spirit's guidance. I praise God for all the many blessings He has poured upon me, especially